Hello student, today we are going to study parturition and lactation. Human pregnancy lasts for about 9 months. It is called the gestation period. At the end of the pregnancy or end of the gestation period, due to the vigorous contraction of uterus, the fetus is expelled out from the uterus. This process is called as the parturition or birth of the child. It takes place, mechanism how it takes place. It takes place due to the neuroendocrine mechanism. One mechanism is there and which explain the parturition, and that name given as the neuroendocrine mechanism. What happens in neuroendocrine mechanism? The fetus having one gland. That gland is called as the adrenal gland. That is called as the adrenal gland. So the adrenal gland, the developing fetus, the adrenal gland of developing fetus secretes adrenal gland of fetus secretes some hormones. These hormones are diffuses into mother's blood and it stimulates the posterior pituitary lobes to secrete the hormone oxytocin. So this oxytocin is uh, secreted, and this oxytocin plays a very important role. This oxytocin causes the contraction of the muscles of the uterus, and this causes a pain, and this pain is called the labor pain. Due to this labor pain, the fetus is expelled from uterus via dilated cervix and vagina. So dilation of the cervix takes place due to a hormone that is called the relaxin. So in this way, fetus gradually pushed toward the outside via the uterus, via the cervix and the vagina. And when contraction takes place, and this stimulates to more secretion of, when contraction of uterus takes place, here, and it stimulates more secretion of oxytocin. It's secretion of more oxytocin, and in this way, due to more contraction of the oxytocin, more contraction of the uterus takes place, and more contraction of uterus causes more and more labor pain, and that causes the parturition or birth of the child. One mechanism flow chart is given here. One flow chart is given here. What happens? This is the estrogen. This is the produced from the ovary, and oxytocin, that is the released from the fetus and the mother's posterior pituitary glands. Estrogen, whatever this estrogen estrogen that is produced by the ovary, that induce oxytocin. Receptors on the, that the uterus having the receptors, uterus having the oxytocin receptors, and these receptors are induced by the estrogen secreted from the ovary. As the receptors are the activated, and these receptors receive the oxytocin, and when they receive the oxytocin, they get contracted, and when they are the contracted uterus, this is the, as a result, oxytocin from the pituitary glands stimulate the uterus to contract. This uterus start the contraction due to the presence of the oxytocin. And what happens is induced, and receptors are induced that stimulates placenta to make prostaglandin. This prostaglandin stimulates more contraction of the uterus. This prostaglandin, due to action of the prostaglandin, more and more contraction, means vigorous contraction takes place, and this stimulates more contraction of uterus. When uterus become more contracted, this send the message, and ultimately more oxytocin is produced, and more oxytocin causes the more contraction of the uterus. And in the same way, this is also more, if this is the contraction of the uterus take place, it give the positive feedback. This is the positive feedback, and more prostaglandin is secreted, and more contraction of uterus takes place, and more contraction takes place, resulting in more of the labor pain, and that causes the expulsion of the fetus. For some time, that there is no labor pain, there is less labor pain. Then nurses give the injection of the oxytocin to the fetus. Oxytocin injection to the mother. If there is less pain or not labor pain, then what happens? Nurses give mother to injection of the oxytocin, that causes the contraction of the uterus, and increases the fetus, increases the labor pain, and that causes the expulsion of the fetus. So this shows the positive feedback. More contraction takes place, more contraction takes place, more contraction of uterus causes more secretion of the oxytocin and the prostaglandin, and in this way more secretion of oxytocin and more contraction of the uterus, and in this way that bring about the more contraction. So in this way, this shows the positive feedback. This positive feedback, many you can understand in two type feedbacks are there: positive feedback and the negative feedback. Suppose you get the admission in any school, then what happens? You live in the school and ask your parents, and if you are studying well, then your parents, that is the make arrangement for tuition, for coaching, or for some more books to more and more improvement. This is called the positive feedback. A negative feedback, when you get the admission in your school, then your parent had nothing to spend. You ask your parent, there is no need of your money, no need of your care, I am sufficient to make out the preparation. So this is the negative feedback, and that previous what I told you, that is the positive feedback. So in this way, contracted uterus stimulates more secretion of the oxytocin and more formation of the prostaglandin that causes the more contraction of the uterus. So in this way, contracted uterus itself create such situation by it become the more and more contracted and producing the more and more labor pain, and that causes the birth of the child. At the end of the pregnancy, at the end of the pregnancy, lactation takes place. Lactation takes place at the end of the pregnancy, and lactation takes place, or the milk production by the mammary gland takes place, and this process is called the lactation. At the end of the pregnancy, mammary gland produces the milk, and this process is called the lactation. In the lactation, the initially what milk is produced by the mother. This is initially a few days. That milk is called colostrum. That colostrum is highly nutritive, and also it has the antibody against the pathogen. So colostrum is the very important for the child. This colostrum protect the baby, protect the child from the pathogen, as it contains the antibody. So it increases the resistance of the child from the pathogen. So colostrum or the breastfeeding is the necessary. Thank you for today's discussion.